Good evening, guys. Tonight's discussion C is near death experiences, or NDEs as we call them, an end of life. So, with that being said, give me a few minutes and we will delve into C tonight for discussion. Okay? Give me a minute to set up for the show, please. Here. Okay. Near death experiences, or NDEs, are some of the most profound mysterious phenomenon reported by people who've come close to dying. They've often they often leave lasting impressions, psychological, spiritual, and even professional. Here's a deep dive into what they are, what people report, and how they can reshape lives. Okay, first one. What is what is a near death experience? A near death experience is a near death experience is a vivid, often transformative event that occurs when someone is close to death or temporarily clinically dead. Common features include out of body experiences, OBEs, feelings of peace and serenity, seeing a bright light or tunnel. Okay, folks. Next page. Life reviews. Seeing key moments flash before one's eyes. Encounters with deceased loved ones or spiritual beings. A sense of being in a different realm or dimension. These experiences are reported across cultures and beliefs systems, often reflecting personal or spiritual interpretations. Scientific and psychological insights. Recent research suggests NDEs may be linked to multisensory integration disturbances during trauma. Brain activity during cardiac arrest, where people may still hear and perceive stimuli. Heightened states of consciousness, sometimes described as more real than waking life. Dr. Jill Bowtie Taylor, a neuroscientist who experienced her own stroke, described it as a blissful state, similar to an NDE where the left brain quiets and a sense of unity and purpose emerges. Real life accounts. Here are a few compelling examples. Amanda Wademan, car crash survivor, experienced a vast, peaceful black blackness and a sense of being surrounded by loving presence, presences. Felt more awake and aware than in normal life. After recovery, she changed her career, sold her house, and began trauma coaching. Jeremy Renner, snowplow accident, reflected on love as his only thing that transcends death. Described the experience as beautiful and spiritually affirming. Shayna Shea, HELP syndrome during birth, faced a life-threatening pregnancy complication. Felt intense fear and guilt, but ultimately gratitude for medical intervention that saved her and her baby. How NDEs change people. Studies show survivors often experience increased empathy and spiritual growth. A reevaluation of life priorities, greater appreciation for relationships and purpose, career shifts toward more meaningful work, philosophical reflections. Some, like author Karen, in her near life experience, didn't almost die, but realized they weren't truly living. Her story highlights how confronting mortality, even indirectly, can spark profound life changes. Would you like to explore how NDEs intersect with aging trauma recovery or spiritual care frameworks, or perhaps dive into how these experiences are being integrated into uh, therapeutic near-death experiences across cultures, ages, and belief systems. While not every experience reports all, elements. Researchers have identified several core motifs that reoccur with remarkable consistency. Give me 1 second, guys. The most common themes in NDEs, themes and descriptions: out of body experiences, OBEs feeling detached from the physical body, often observing from above or another location. Peace and painlessness, a profound sense of calm, love, and freedom from physical pain. Tunnel and light, traveling through a dark tunnel toward a radiant light, often interpreted as a gateway to another realm. Life review, seeing one's life flash before their eyes, often with emotional clarity and moral reflection. Encounters with beings, meeting deceased loved ones, spiritual entities, or divine figures. Interpretations vary by culture. Altered time and space. Time may feel distorted, speeding up, slowing down, or chasing altogether space. Chasing altogether space may feel infinite or surreal. Reluctance to return. Many report not wanting to return to life due to the overwhelming peace and beauty of the experience. Complete knowledge or insight, a sudden understanding of life's meaning, universal truths, or interconnectedness, or heavenly or other worldly realms. Descriptions of beautiful landscapes, celestial cities, or realms of light and music. Judgment or learning environments. Some report being evaluated or taught by higher beings through, though this is less common. Cultural variations. While the core structure of NDEs is consistent globally, culturally, and religious backgrounds shape the interpretations. In Western cultures, the light is often seen as divine or angelic. In Eastern traditions, it may be interpreted as celestial spirits or karmic transition. Some indigenous accounts describe nature-based realms or spirit guides. Would you like to explore how these themes are being integrated into trauma recovery, spiritual care, or even AI assisted end of life planning? Okay, the findings from near death experiences, NDE research, have had a profound impact on spiritual counseling, reshaping how practitioners approach external questions, trauma recovery, and personal transformation. Here's how. How NDE research is transforming spiritual counseling, validation of transcended or transcend experiences. NDEs provide imperial support for spiritual phenomenon that were once considered anecdotal or mystical. Counselors can now reference peer-reviewed studies, e.g. Grayson and Karma 2014, showing that NDEs often lead to spiritual growth, not decline. This helps normalize and validate clients' experiences, reducing stigma and encouraging open dialogue. Framework for post-traumatic spiritual growth. Survivors of NDEs often report a renewed sense of purpose, empathy, and interconnectedness. Spiritual counselors can use these themes to guide clients through post-traumatic growth, helping them reframe suffering as a gateway to transformation, shifting from religious dogma to personal meaning. NDEs often catalyze a move away from institutional, regional toward personal. Spirituality, searching for meaning, connection, and transcendence or transcend. Counselors are increasingly adopting non-denominational, client-centered approaches that honor diverse spiritual paths. Integration challenges and external support. Many NDE survivors struggle to reconcile their profound insights with everyday life. Spiritual counseling now includes integration strategies, journaling, mindfulness, nature immersion, and community engagement to help bridge the gap between mystical experience and medicine or mundane reality. Increased use of narrative and life review techniques. Inspired by the life review theme in NDE, counselors often encourage clients to explore their life stories, values, and unsolved relationships. This can foster healing, forgiveness, and clarity, especially in end of life grief contexts. Broader implications. Spiritual counselors are also collaborating with hospice teams to support patients who report NDE like visions. Using NDE research to inform death anxiety interventions helping clients embrace mortality with less fear. Exploring how NDEs intersect with positive psychological, especially in cultivating awe, gratitude, and resilience. Would you like to co-design a spiritual counseling framework that integrates NDE themes for aging populations or trauma survivors or explore how these insights could be embedded into smart housing environments for holistic elder care? Thanks to the growing body of research on near-death experiences, spiritual counseling is evolving into a more holistic, trauma-informed, and purpose-driven practice. Here are some practical applications. These insights, especially relevant to your work in aging, trauma, recovery, and systems-based care. Practical applications of NDE insights in spiritual counseling. Trauma-informed spiritual integration. Application use. NDE narratives to help clients reframe trauma as a gateway to growth. How incorporate guided life review. Exercises, mindfulness, and narrative therapy to process external themes and foster resilience to end of life and hospice. Application. Normalize NDE like visions. in terminal patients to reduce fear and enhance dignity. How? Train caregivers and chaplains to recognize and support spiritual transitions using NDE informed language and presence based techniques, grief counseling and bereavement supports, application use, NDE accounts to offer comfort and continuity to those grieving. How? Share cross-culture NDE themes, e.g. reunion with loved ones, peace beyond death, to help clients find meaning and reduce external despair. Spiritual crisis and awakening supports. Application. Help clients integrate sudden spiritual insights or shift belief systems post NDE. How? Offer non-dogmatic frameworks for exploring new values, purpose, and identity, especially useful for those leaving rigid religious structures. Caregiving training and empathy building, application use, NDE themes to deepen caregivers' understanding of patients' inner lives. How? Integrate NDE informed empathy modules into caregiving education, emphasizing presence, listening, and spiritual sensitivity. Smart housing and ambient assisted living. Application. Embedded NDE informed spiritual care into tech enabled elder environments. How? Use ambient prompts, e.g. music, nature, imagery, guided meditations to support spiritual well-being and external reflection in memory-friendly housing. 7. Positive psychology and aging resilience. Application. Leverage NDE themes like awe, gratitude, and interconnectedness to promote mental health in older adults. How? Design interventions that foster spiritual reflection, legacy creation, and community engagement. Would you like to co-create a spiritual care model for frailty aware environments or develop a caregiver training toolkit that give me 1 second, guys. Paper stuck. Okay, integrates NDE insights with cultural competency and trauma informed practice. Dells like acceptance and commitment therapy or act. Okay, guys, so I hope tonight's show gave people some insights into near-death experiences and how people integrate them into lives, um, how they reshape people's lives, how they help people cope with people being gone, you know, those kind of deals. So, with that being said, I hope this has had a profound impact on somebody for the night. Um, for now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks. And I did this show because a couple weeks back I did one, but one of the people that see this, they wanted me to do another show. So with that in mind, that is why I chose this theme for tonight's C. So for now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.